Hello and a very warm welcome. I'm Vikram Oza. In a recent report that I was reading that ICRA came out with, they said FY17 growth for the Indian tyre business is going to be pretty muted. But then going ahead for the next 3 years, they say it's going to grow at a steady clip of 4 to 6%. Of course, raw material costs like that of rubber and crude oil are going to come into play. But what's the situation on the ground when you talk about the OEM space for the auto industry in India? And of course, when you talk about brands, there is Bridgestone to speak of among a whole host of others. Competition is rife in that space. But Bridgestone, for one, now upping the game, as it were. They're entering the two-wheeler segment as well. Already they've been in passenger vehicles since 1996, I understand. That's when they came in. But here we have the management to speak about all the developments happening on that count, considering that now Firestone, the brand that Bridgestone has acquired, is also now going to be available in India. It's great to have with us on the show, Kazuhiko Mimura is the Managing Director for Bridgestone India, and joining him is Elizabeth Lewis, the Manager for Global Brand Strategy. It's great to have you both with us, but let me begin by just getting a sense of the auto industry from an OEM's perspective. How is it looking to you right now?
Right now, we have been seeing some growth, even passenger and truck and bus segment.
Yes.
And, with the great support of this OEM growth, yes, we have been also seeing the tire industry growth in this year.
So there's enough growth that's kind of propelling the segment, as it were. But over the period of time that you've been here, which has been close to 20 years now, and obviously you've started your manufacturing 2 years after you entered the Indian market, how have you seen the industry evolve?
Yes, again, thanks to the strong economic growth in India, again, we have been steadily, growing our production capacity and sales. Of course, like some year in 2012 or 2013, there was some turbulence in the economy. But again, India has got strong momentum after that. So, yeah, thank you. We are growing.
Yes.
Yeah. Accordingly.
Elizabeth, you work very closely with Firestone, of course, and in terms of the overall brand strategy globally as well, considering the turbulent times that we live in and so many geographies work at so many different paces of growth, so to say, but how have you seen the strategy for Bridgestone alter over this period of time, particularly so with Firestone, which is the brand that now you're getting into India?
Yeah, we're very fortunate as a company to have two very strong brands. The Bridgestone brand, which serves the premium, better and best segments, and to have the Firestone brand, which helps us when it comes to consumers who are looking for great quality, but also looking for great value. So the fact that we have the two brands that we can bring to different markets when the needs arise is very fortunate for us as we look to grow our business across the globe.
Yes. So as I was starting to tell our viewers as well, that right now you're looking at expanding the market, as it were. In terms of market share right now for Bridgestone, where do things stand? How are you looking at the market and expanding the Indian possibilities as well, considering that you've been in the place long enough to understand the pace of growth that the auto industry can promise over the next 3 to 5 years?
Mm-hmm. Yes, of course, regarding market share, there is no official statistics, but we are saying we are one of the market leader in the tire industry, and with again thanks to the strong demand in the Indian market into the next 2-3 years, and so we are trying to keep our growth into the future. That's why today, the reason why we are bringing Firestone into this market is also one of the reasons. We have been seeing as Indian economy grows, or as customers' behavior or purchase behavior is differentiated or diversified. People are trying to have more different products. And we are trying to cope with those demand, and especially Firestone, we are bringing for the customers, especially value seekers, etc.
Yes, so you are looking at expanding the market. You're expanding your portfolio, as it were.
Sure.
Tell us about the need that's driving it right now, because there is an understanding of the Indian customer and what it's looking for. Obviously, there is the need of the auto industry here in India right now, but then there is also the replacement market to address. So what is driving it in terms of the segments that you're catering to? Perhaps you can start off by telling me about the segment that's working out best for you that you're catering to in India.
Yes. If we talk about the car segment, it used to be like micro, mini, was the dominated by the customers. But as you know, the customers are shifting to more mid-size or SUVs, utility vehicles, and customers' preference are getting more and more, or complicated or personalized. That's why, Firestone is one of the answer for us to cope with those, differentiated demand in the market.
Elizabeth, does this match your intelligence as far as markets are concerned? The kind that you're seeing in India, how does it kind of add up with what you're seeing around the world? Can you give me a sense of that?
Well, obviously the Indian market is unique in itself. The trends that we're seeing here are very similar to what we see across the globe, which is a big part why Bridgestone Corporation is focusing on expanding the Firestone brand across the globe. We are seeing more consumers that while they want dependability, performance, and have a great quality product, they don't necessarily have the means to buy the most premium product on the market. So where we have consumers who can't have an answer in Bridgestone, we have the Firestone brand for them.
Sure. So considering that you had a product range to offer to your customers, I want to understand the thought process behind getting a Firestone down right now. The price strategy on it as well, and the need that is being served through getting Firestone as a brand here in India.
Yeah, talking about the price, the concept is Firestone should be dependable products within reach. That means, as Elizabeth said, people, those who don't need such a high performance products, but the people who need some reasonable products, but dependable products within reach, means a standard price level. Yeah, that is our answer.
So at this point in time, you're looking at the pricing factor very closely because this is a value-conscious market. Is that something that you're seeing across the board for all the product categories that you kind of bring in? Are you seeing that specifically in the passenger vehicle space right now?
Yes. Right now, we are focusing on the passenger car tire segment as well as SUV, utility vehicle.
For Firestone?
Yes, for Firestone.
Correct. And going ahead, I mean, obviously you have looked at the two-wheeler segment, which is huge now in India, highly competitive as well. And you've got a new run coming in as well, very recently. So do give me a sense of the two-wheeler segment vis-a-vis your passenger vehicle segment, where the thrust really is, how you're viewing that market for Bridgestone as well.
Yeah, two-wheeler segment is also one of the fastest growing market in India. As you know, according to the statistics, maybe annual demand for both for OEM new fitment and aftermarket is like 70 million tires per year. So prior to this Firestone launch, this month we have just launched new brand two-wheeler tires in Indian market. So also we are catering according to the market demand and needs.
By way of segmentation of the market, and you're looking at rural and urban demand as well, where is the thrust right now that you see? Where is the demand really coming in from? What you're hearing from the auto industry and from the various touch points that you're present in as well. How do you see the growth in demand within the segments that the Indian market provides?
Well, maybe main driver is the Indian market growth. Economic growth. Yeah, and India being maybe 50% population is the under 25 years old people. Also, they are very much educated, and they are trying to try new things or get a motorcycle or get a new car. Those people are one of the driver for the car and tire industry.
Elizabeth, is it a challenge to reach out to the segment that he's pointing at? Obviously, the younger lot require a different kind of approach to kind of convince them into buying your brand, for example. How do you kind of talk to them?
Well, as you know, everywhere. The millennial population, as they've been known to become, is a tremendously important population because they're tomorrow's buyers and today's buyers. They're also one of the hardest groups to find connection with as well. So finding ways to market to the younger population globally is an ongoing challenge, which leads to different marketing strategies, be they digital or building awareness of brands that may have legendary status from a historical perspective, but we have to give it relevance to the consumer today. So we put a lot of time and effort into what's the unique brand value. Not all of our products are just black and round and the same. Each of our products provides a unique value proposition, and the importance of getting that message across to the consumer is more important now than it's ever been.
Right. So how much of this is direct? How much of it is kind of through indirect routes as well? It's something that we'll talk about, and how they're expanding their presence in the Indian market, and obviously how there is customer delight that's being built into the entire strategy is something we'll discuss right after taking a very small break. To stay with us, we'll be right back. Welcome back. Here on the show, we are talking to the management at Bridgestone and finding out exactly how they're pushing the brand across. Now that they have Firestone here, they're looking that much more closely at the two-wheeler segment. There are challenges in the Indian market. How unique are they from the other geographies, perhaps, that you might have worked in?
Yeah, it's been still, two-wheeler segment is mostly depend on the buyers segment, maybe, but at the same time we have been seeing more customers, or looking for mid or large size two-wheelers. That's why there could be another demand for radial tire as well. So we have to see closely the market trend and customer behaviors.
Sure. And what about trucks and buses? That segment has been doing well for you, from what I understand. And how is that market kind of growing right now? Because there is considerable action over there. Even when the auto industry and passenger vehicles weren't performing, you saw commercial vehicles do relatively well. Have you noticed something like that in your case as well?
Yes, actually it's a kind of similar situation. In India, traditionally, bias tires were dominating in this truck and bus segment. But we have been again seeing the very rapid growth in the radial segment. We call it radialization. So that's beyond our expectation. So in line with the better sales in the truck and bus segment in India, that's why this truck and bus radial demand is growing.
I also see that you're going after volumes. Where are two launches that we're looking at in a single year as well? There is New Run and there is obviously Firestone that you're bringing in right now. So is that a change in strategy right now that you need to kind of push the pedal on volumes?
Yes, as we see, a recent, evolving trend, and people are more and more, diversified, and so we think it's good time to bring those more and more another brand which is suitable for those different customer segment, and also luckily. This year is our 20-year anniversary, so we are very happy to bring new two products in this year particularly.
So that's how you're celebrating?
Yeah.
How are you interacting? How are you communicating with your customers now? Because obviously the touch points need to be that much deeper. There needs to be that much more evolution in what you're bringing to the table to the customer, because he or she are definitely looking for more from each brand that they're using, that they're kind of making part of their lives. How have you worked on that strategy now?
Yeah, of course, we apply the marketing strategy segment by segment. Like for our tire shops, tire dealers, we go to the market, length and breadth of all over India, and we directly communicate face to face. We explain what the features of Firestone, etc., what is a lineup of products, what is the price, those things. And for end users, consumers, we have been, advertising, or TV, whatever, internet. So we apply various, strategies to communicate with our stakeholders.
Elizabeth, again, just to go back to the global front, to kind of look at the kind of strategy that is being applied in India with the ways of communication, the marketing mix, as it were, how that kind of alters. I just want to understand again from your exposure to the Indian market, as limited as it may be, but I just want to get a broader sense of how differentiated is this market, considering the many geographies. And it's typically what I ask a lot of companies that have that kind of global presence, how the Indian market stands out, what you need to do differently to be able to serve this market.
Well, from my limited understanding of the Indian market, one of our best benefits that we have here is a strong Bridgestone brand already, which is not necessarily what some of our other markets enjoy. So we already have great presence as it relates to our best and better product lines. So the good news is when you're bringing in a good product that is related to your best and better product that people already know and trust,
yes,
it allows for us to be trusted immediately in the marketplace, and people trust that, oh, it's coming from Bridgestone, I know I'm going to have a great quality product. So we expect great things from Firestone here in India.
So how do you leverage that? How have you seen that being leveraged as well? Even on a global scale, how do you do that? Because there is an understanding of what Bridgestone brings to the table. Obviously, you need to kind of build on that. How do you do that?
I think the most important thing to remember is we are Bridgestone Corporation, and Bridgestone Corporation owns two very valuable brands, the Bridgestone brand and the Firestone brand. And again, we've been coming to market with Bridgestone for a long time in India. It has a lot of trust from our consumer set, has shown great value to the consumers here as well. We already have trust in our dealers. Our dealers are probably the most important part of how we bring the Firestone brand to market. So for us to have trust in dealers, our dealers help instill trust in our consumers, and we have a successful launch for the Firestone brand.
Yeah. But, you know, performance and sports cars, talking about the millennials that they're catering to, now that's a niche segment, but then a lot of traction over there, a lot of that much more concentrated attention on different parts of a vehicle. For example, the tires are going to be pretty integral to what you're buying as an end product. It's going to be very closely watched. So in terms of creating an impression of the brand through the niche market that I'm talking about, how are you targeting it in India?
Yes. Well, actually, it is one of the Bridgestone's assets, having that of course, Bridgestone and Firestone. And it is one of our corporate strategy to have a multi-brand. Even within Bridgestone, we have a different product category brand. For example, Potenza is a brand for, as you likely said, all the customers who like motorsports or
yes,
sport driving. So,
or performance cars.
Yes, performance cars. And the other one is Turanza, people who likes a comfortable, quiet ride, And the other is Ecopia, people who cares about the environment, fuel saving, whatever. So, as we have been again seeing the more and more demand in performance cars or hybrid, etc. So, we have to cater the right products to the right customer segment.
So, will all the products be available in every store that you're going to be present in? How does it work for you on the distribution front right now? Because you have several dealerships. I know that the number is increasing as well, and it's not just the urban markets. You're looking very closely at the rural market.
Yep.
So how have you gone about that? Because the offering is getting larger. The portfolio is that much more than it was when you would have started. How are you kind of presenting it to your customers? At which points are they kind of interacting with your products?
Yes, we have been successfully expanding our dealer network. So currently, we have dealing with the more than 3,000 dealership, again, all over the India. So for these new products, maybe it's too early to say, but we are targeting to start business with at least 2,000 dealership in the length and breadth of India. 2,000?
Yeah, the number of dealerships?
More than, yeah.
Even more than that?
Yes.
Excellent. But it is a very competitive landscape, and in many geographies that Bridgestone is present in as well, I would imagine there are so many players, and some of them with iconic status as well. not very different in the Indian market. Now, how do you keep an edge over there in the competitive landscape that you're present in, especially for the two-wheeler segment? In that sense, you're coming in a little later in the market. You have many established players. How do you kind of make up for lost time over there?
Yeah, we will decide the two-wheeler segment strategy according to the market demand and what is coming in the future. So we are carefully monitoring the market trend. And this introduction of Neuron brand is just our first step to cater, customers who need some good products. So this is our answer to bring a Neuron. But India is a large country. When we go to the upcountry market, people need more two-wheeler tires. So that is also our answer to cover, not only city like Mumbai or whatever, but we have to serve our customers even in upcountry markets.
Right. Innovations in strategy. When you talk about positioning the brand, what has been pushed on a global level that perhaps we're likely to see in India as well, Elizabeth?
Yeah, the best thing about the Bridgestone and Firestone brands is they're both built on continuous improvement and innovation. So we're constantly looking for new ways to bring our products to market, new innovations, be it through fuel saving or performance, wet traction, durability, which is the foundation of Firestone. So I think the fact that we're constantly built on improvement, and even here in the BS Cap region, we have our own technical innovation focused on innovation for places like India specifically, that's helping us have a competitive advantage in the marketplace.
Of course, innovations are going to drive any business, and we certainly seem to see that in Bridgestone's case in India. We will talk a little bit more about those. Elizabeth has to leave, but joining us on the flip side of this small break is Vaibhav Saraf. He looks at sales and marketing for consumer products in India. We'll talk to him as well. Do stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. In this episode, we're in conversation with the management at Bridgestone India, getting a sense of the kind of innovation that they are driving, and obviously their product portfolio is growing. So what's the thought process over there? Let's find out. Of course, joining us this time is Vaibhav Saraf. He is Senior General Manager, Sales and Marketing for Consumer Products at Bridgestone India. And staying with us all through the show is Kazuhiko Mimura, the Managing Director of Bridgestone India. Just want to get a sense from you to start off. As far as the competitive landscape is concerned, he was telling us, Mimura-san was telling us about how it's important at this point in time to go after segments in the Indian market. And obviously, there is that increasing segmentation. Your dealerships are growing as well. What are the kind of innovations that you are kind of pushing to be able to connect better with your customers?
Frankly speaking, innovation has been one of our key successes in the past few years, which has made Bridgestone today what it is in the Indian replacement market. Innovation from consumer perspective and innovation from dealer perspective has been the key drivers, and we want to hold on to those going into the future as well. So we were like the first ones in India a few years back to introduce what was CRM, Customer Relationship Management, because tire is like one-time fitment, but the amount of service that goes into the tires has to be repeated over and over again. So we were the ones who pioneered CRM. We developed our own CRM and got it installed in all our dealerships. So from a consumer perspective, it gives a lot of reassurance to him that it's just not like a one-time transaction with the dealer, but of course Bridgestone and the retail partner is going to take good care of the consumer for long, and that's what actually binds the consumer to your brand and to your retail partner as well. Talking about innovation from a channel perspective, again, we were the first ones to introduce retail stores beyond just tire change. We created value for both the retailer as well as the consumer in not only providing tires, but also informative knowledge about the tires, education, services beyond tires like nitrogen inflation, and at some select points, some retail points, we also offer services which are pretty much close to what has been offered at the car dealerships. So creating value for the consumer, reaching out to the consumer, and trying to exactly understand what would be the requirement from the consumer perspective. That has helped us a lot in putting where Bridgestone is right now.
Have you seen the impact of all that Vaibhav is saying, in the kind of replacement market, have you seen enough growth over there in recent times?
Oh yes, thanks to our strong dealership, so we are successfully, enjoying a good market share.
How is it growing, the replacement market?
I think it depends on the year by year. In the past 5 years, we have been seeing close to 10% per year.
We wish you great luck. Congratulations on the launch of Firestone, and we wish
Thank you
you
very much.
great luck for the future as well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.